across the grain, because as you know, the blocks have the grains always perpendicular to the flat surface of the plates. So start planning with a very sharp and finely set, always test it in a piece of scrap wood before you touch the actual blocks of the violin, and always do the planning like this, against the grain and towards the mold, to prevent the chip off that will probably be caused if you use your plane like this. So always plane in this direction and in this direction, like that, until you remove most of the wood, because later we are going to use the sanding board to finally reduce the height of the blocks until they're finally flush or even with the surface of the mold itself. I have removed almost all the wood, the wood that's above the surface of the mold from the blocks until I reach around ½ millimeter or so, to refine our work and leave the upper and lower surfaces of the blocks completely flat with the mold itself. We're going to use the sanding board with starting with a 220 grit, and then we'll go on to a finer grit. You have to do it smoothly, slowly, and applying the same pressure over the entire mold. For doing so, the best way is follow a routine. For example, 1, 2, 3, and then we change the position, 1, 2, 3, and then we change the position, 1, 2, 3, and then back again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, constantly checking your progress. You will see that the areas that have been correctly sanded become wider than the other areas. That's a clear sign that the blocks were not left even when I used the plane. That's normal, you know. When you get to a point that you see that you are scratching the surface of the mold, don't worry about that, because not too much wood will be removed because the blocks are still there. That means that the blocks are almost, you still can feel here like maybe 0.3 millimeters of wood right there. Leave it that way because we have to change the grit of the sandpaper to a finer one. I have already changed the grit of the sandpaper to a 400 grit, and now comes the refining of your work. Okay, you see how the spurs screeches, and sometimes it is a very annoying sound. You have to make all the blocks flush perfectly with the surface of the mold, being careful not to remove any wood from the mold. The mold and the blocks are finished. They are perfectly attached, completely square, and the surfaces are even. Now we have to mark the blocks from the pattern, specifically the areas of the corner blocks, upper and lower block. For that, we put back the drills that we have used throughout the course, and with a very fine tip pencil like this, you can take a little piece of sandpaper to sharpen it. We have to carefully mark the corner block.